Hi there, this is Michelle Sizemore with Creative Memories. Today I'm going to show you how to make all of these things using this one punch from Creative Memories. It's one of our border punches where you can punch a 12-inch border. I'm going to set this aside and just show you how to use the punch. Take a piece of cardstock. If you'll notice, there are two black lines here. I'm going to follow along this black line. And basically, I'm going to put my paper inside the punch. And I want to start my paper right there on that black line. Okay? And then you want to make sure it's completely flush with this lip that sticks up there. And hold it down with your thumb and punch. And you have to, I kind of lean over it and punch. And then you pull it down. Let me show you. See, there's this pattern that goes along this. That means that you want to pull it down and place what you already cut out right on top of that pattern so that you don't see the blue showing through. Okay? And I'll have to do it sideways. So I'm going to put the paper, the cardstock there, hold it down with my thumb and punch. And move it, pick it up and kind of scrape away the scraps because they kind of can pile up and get stuck up in your punch if you don't do that. I'm going to move it down again, put it on my pattern so you don't see the blue. Make sure it's in place. Make sure it's along this lip here. And punch. And I'm just going to continue doing that all the way down until I get a row like this. Okay? And then I'm also going to punch out a light green. And just because St. Patrick's Day is coming up, I'm working with these greens. And as you can see, I got a little off right there. So I would just take my micro scissors and trim that so that you really can't tell. These micro scissors are great because they get in the little grooves. They're just awesome little scissors from Creative Memories. Okay, so and then you can just straighten that up. I didn't do that perfect, but you get the idea. So I just punched out two of these. I personally, if I'm going to do a border that goes all the way across the page, I don't like that it cuts off a heart right here and then like there's these two flat sides. So what I'm going to do is cut off these two end pieces. It won't be exactly 12 inches, but I'll show you what I do that I like. I'm just going to cut around this so that it ends there. So then, like if I wanted to make a border for the bottom of my page, I would, let's say I want to put it on top of this green. Bear with me just a sec. I will grab a piece of cardboard that comes out of the cardstock when I buy it. It's always in the back of the cardstock. And then I'll take my repositionable tape runner and just gently, you need to be gentle because of these little fragile cutouts right here. Just gently dab it all across the back. Since it comes out in little clear dots, it only sticks where it needs to stick. The rest comes off on your cardboard, and you just set that aside. I don't like to do that on a regular table because then I'll get the sticky stuff on my table. And then you just mount this on here, okay? And then I'll have this on the edge, which I prefer that it to be blank like that instead of a heart that's cut in half. You could also move this to the edge here. And then if you have like a few that you've cut out, you could just, let's see, you could cut one off and make it so that it adds more to it if you want. But I'm going to do it like this, okay? And then I'll take my straight trimmer, well, my 12-inch trimmer, and I have this straight blade in here. Pop it up and stick this down. the blade is going to come down on this left-hand side dotted line right here. So you just eyeball it, and then you can actually even pull this little clear thing out, and it's going to show you exactly where it's going to go. And I really am starting to like using this clear thing, even though I didn't used to, because I can look at that now and tell it's really going too close to the top of my hearts. So I didn't eyeball it very well. So I'm going to move it over a little bit. And I think I'm going to like that better. That's going to measure up more to about looking like this. So there we go. I used that guide to help me move it over because there's a line right there that shows you. And then you just get it out of the way when you're done. And then you cut. And then I'm really happy with that. But, you know, I didn't really center it very well. There's more space over here. So since I used my repositionable tape runner, I can pull it up and reposition it for a while. Over time, it'll settle out, and you won't be able to do that as well. But I would not use any other tape runner personally with these intricate cutout things than this one, because I love it. It fits in our regular tape runner case, and it's green. And all you do is you open your case, and then there's these notches here, and there's holes here. You just plop it in there over the holes, easy. And then put the case on the topper on top, and then you're ready to go. Okay. So that is how I got the look of this, okay? And then to add the green on the sides, I just took my 12-inch trimmer, and I used the decal blade, which is the yellow one. Plop it in the case holder, and then I'm going to cut 2 strips. It doesn't have to be perfect because some of this is going to be on the back of my strip of paper. So I do that. Take my cardboard and take my strip that I just made, and I'm going to put dabs of repositionable tape runner. Need to grab another one because that one's almost empty. And just put it along the edge here. And then I'm going to line this up straight, and I put the adhesive here, and then I can just eyeball it and show as much of the green as I want on the outside edge, and do the same thing. Well, I didn't stick it down very hard. Sorry. Once you get it in place, you really should press down on it, obviously. So you can learn from my mistakes. And just press down, and then it should stick. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And just do this where I can look at it. And I want about the same amount to show on the other side. Mount that down. And there you get a border like that. Okay? So that's how I did that part. And then I took the hearts that punched out from here. First of all, let's do this one and make a little clover with that. So I'm going to grab 4 of the hearts that punched out. So that's just what was left over. Let me put them on the white so you can see a little better. Okay. So there's these little hearts, and then all I do is take my tape runner, my repositionable tape runner, and do it on the cardboard, and put a little on the back of each heart. Put them together like a little shamrock. Okay, that one I actually got stuck on there. It was actually on top of some other sticky. And you get the idea. And then put the other one here. Okay. And then you just move them around till you get them where you like them. You know, where you just don't have a big hole in the middle. Maybe a little tiny There we go. And then I would just take one of these that's open and make a little stem from it. Just cut it so it'll be a little bit curved. And then put a little adhesive on the back of that, and then lift up your little leaves and stick it up under there. So until you get the look of this. Okay? And then I'll show you how to do these. Really, all you do to get that look is you cut out your little hearts very carefully, and I would definitely use these micro scissors because they get around the little curves so much better. Okay, so there's one. And I would just do that same thing with 4 of them until you get it like this and put them together like I did this. And then make a little stem the same way, and then it's a different look. And to get this look, all you do is when you've punched out this lighter green, you get these little hearts that punch out of it, put a little tape runner on the back, assemble it like this, and then just tape that, position it, and put tape runner on it and put it on the inside and get that look. So that is how you do all of these ideas. Now, this grass at the bottom, I just want to encourage you when you punch out things to keep all of to look at your scraps and see if there's something you might can do with them. After I punched out my heart, I was left with all these random pieces. And if you put them together at the bottom of your page, it looks like grass. So I'm going to put some tape runner on the back. And then I'm going to just piece them together like so. And then just go all the way across the bottom of the page, piecing them together until I get this look of grass on the bottom. And then one more thing I would encourage you to do is you're also left with these long, skinny pieces. Let's see, like this. Get all that out of the way, like that. And they have these little notches on them. You could just cut those off so that you have a straight strip. Like that all the way down until you just have a skinny strip of paper. Now, these are some ideas that I did a while ago. And I actually did these with a completely different punch. Back then, we had a border maker cartridge so that punched these little hearts out. When you punch a border, this is what was left. So they're really about the same size as these hearts. So I know this is Valentine's Day and that's out of season, but these are just some other things you can do with those little hearts that you punch out. You can put different colors together to make a wreath. You can make a little envelope with these sticking out. And for St. Patrick's Day, you could make this envelope light green and make these darker green. This is the idea of why I said I want to encourage you to save your strips of paper, because you can make flower stems. You can also put leaves on them. You could actually take, if you have a green heart, you could cut it in half and round it a little bit and make a leaf out of it. You can take your hearts and make butterfly wings or bumblebee wings, and then put them on a little body. I just made these look like flowers at Valentine's Day. These ideas, we're using a bigger heart punch. We don't have this punch anymore, but it's the same concept. It's just that these are smaller, okay? So you could do these same ideas, but smaller, with putting the light green inside the darker green, any color you want, and get wings like this that are 2 colors. This little body on the butterfly was actually from the gemstone patterns with the custom cutting system, but that would be too big for these. You could just kind of cut your own little body. You could do like a double heart thing. You could make flower petals, cut them in half and make leaves. Again, the stems are like this. So this is just a bigger version of what you could make with the little tiny hearts that punch out. Okay, you could add a little bling to them. You could make it look like the heart is the O in a word, like love. And here's another idea that you can use your hearts for. Like if you want a little freehand a banner. This was actually a punch we used to have, but now you could easily do this just by cutting strips of paper and cutting a V. And then you could just put little hearts on the end. So you could do a St. Patrick's Day and put little green heart, you know, like in light green and put dark green hearts here, or vice versa. Here's another idea. My little hearts are, there we go. You could say St. Patrick's Day and put your little green shamrocks like what I made here, and then mount it on some green paper. You could use them like confetti on just about anything, like that. I never throw away my scraps if it looks like there's something I could do with them. And here are just some bigger clover things that I made. Now, these aren't really using an actual heart, but you could totally take these little hearts and make little butterfly wings out of them. You could do like on each side, and then like for the wings on the left, and then to put a little body and do it on the right, and here too, and make little butterflies. That just would inspire you to do something with it. So those are my ideas using this awesome border punch from Creative Memories. And I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.